What can a virtual assistant do for me? If you don't know me yet, my name is Phyllis. This is actually the day that I will chat with you more. We're going to be teaching all the people in the community, which ultimately is what everybody wants, which is obviously how to use your virtual assistant. And at the same time, also, how do you run a business that works for you? How do you build your freedom ecosystem? Okay. And one of the big questions that I have, I would like you to write it down in your notes, is my primary question is, what can a virtual assistant do for me? Okay, what can a virtual assistant do for me? No, it's no longer what can I do for myself, what can I do for my business, what can I create for my business. It's now all about what can a VA do for me. If a virtual assistant cannot get it done, that means it's not simple enough, then I will not engage it anymore. I tried it before. I used to do a lot of one-on-one coaching, and I realized that it takes out too much of my time and I couldn't scale in style. So now I look into, if I can scale it with VA, I would do it. If I cannot scale with VA, I wouldn't really do it unless it's very minimal of my time, right? So that's what I do. So with that clarity in mind, right? So then what I will ask you is, what kind of, again, this is like very basic, right? And I know if you guys have already been in here, a lot of this we already covered with you through your talent manager, which is what quality and skills would your ideal team member possess, right? How can diverse personality complement each other for optimal synergy? I would be proud to tell you, all my first layer people, all of them have very different personality, but together we team dynamic where we complete each other. Me and Monique are polar opposite. Me and Grace are similar, but yet there's a little bit different. Grace and Rachel are completely different, but when we come, and Marit is very quiet but very good at system, but we combine everything. Anytime we have a problem, we put it in, somebody will be able to you will be able to take it and run with it. So again, less stress, because we always have someone to do something, and we're not only cutting on that one or two person, or we're stressing us. I don't like to do this, but I'm forced to do that part, right? Second thing is understand your team, right? You know, personalities, D-tests like DISC, right, can help you understand yourself, your team member, fostering the effective collaboration. I actually have a spreadsheet that everybody have to fill in. We have our human design, we have our DISC, we have our 16 personality, we have our 6 human needs, we have our 5 love language, we have all kind of stuff, and we also have Clifton strength, so that we can see, okay, what are we missing? How do we work with each other? What is your strength? What's your weaknesses? And then we put the puzzle together, right? And last but not least is, again, create a culture of trust, right? What step can you take to create a team culture based on trust, respect, and open communication? And this week we actually talk about that again, about that too. It's all about trust. And now and based on observing like all the failed incident, every time we've noticed about the failed incident, we create SOP and then we announce it to people. To be told, this week we let one of the lady go. She was amazing on my book. Amazing, good speaker, good with everything. But then we found out that she actually starting to borrow money, ask people for money in the team after they asked us for the money. So immediately we're like, oh, that have never experienced to us. So we immediately have a meeting, figure out how to solve the problem, create SOP, and moving forward, we're no longer going to have that problem, right? And how can we build a culture? And now we have a non-soliciting rule, right, among the community, among the people that work for us. But again, what would that be for you? And again, if you build those in the front, it will be a lot easier for you, because then you don't have to fire anybody at the end. Okay, so if you're good in the front, you will have less replacement at the end. But again, it's kind of like dating. You have to date first in order to know what you like, what you don't, and afterwards you can create a sheet, right? Like what Tony Robbins said, you write out exactly your dream person, and after you write it out, you can manifest it, and then that person will show up. So again, that is all about team. And now we're talking about system, right? How do you create it so that it's efficient and automate? I would say the very first thing you want to do is obviously SOP, right? And like what I always talk about, SOP is a live document. Every time you're working on something, you most likely have to update the SOP one way or the other. You should be improve it at least once a week. And nowadays, SOP doesn't necessarily have to be document like word by word. You can actually use Loom. Loom is really, really cool. You should record every single time you have a meeting. Like right now, I record all my meetings in my Loom. Every time I meet with somebody virtually, I record it. And then now Loom actually have a Loom AI that can immediately craft step by step or SOP for you, so you don't even have to create them yourself. And also, are you using Asana, right, for your task management for your team? So it's clarified and verified. They have due dates, who's doing it, what's the details of it, so you can always go back and look at them. Even sometimes you want to use it the next year, right, so you can utilize it. You have a CRM that track all your clients. One thing that I was very successful in when I was doing alarms is every time somebody called me, ring ring, hey Miss Teresa, how are you doing today? Remember, how's the wedding for your kids? And then the client's like, how do you know? How do you remember? Oh, the last time when I talked to you, you told me about that. And then the client all of a sudden become like a raving fan, because I remember the conversation that we had 5 months ago about them, because it was in the CRM that we can see, and with the call ID we know who calls, and that's how we build the relationship, and ultimately it's the trust that we have with the client, and thus, again, they love us, right? So, ultimately the 3 things that you want to create for your system is SOP, a task management software, right? And then a CRM. If you don't have them, let us know. We can obviously coach you on that. And we will obviously go deep down into some of the tasks here. Second one is, what role can technology play in automating the task, freeing up your time for higher level activities? In our company, we have a lot of Zapier and workflow. So as soon as something really happens, like for us, we have about 300 agents right now working with us. And what we do is anytime they fill out a like a evaluation form, it will automatically send our client an email about the evaluation. And it also will be sending us an email if the evaluation is below certain portion. So now we can constantly checking and evaluating the quality of them, right? And also data. This is one of the big piece of data of the thing that people usually don't do. I didn't do it in the past too. It's always about feeling. I feel like I should increase the pay of this person. I feel like my company is doing really well. Until one day, again, I did the EOS. They talk about this thing called scorecard, which I will dive deeper into it on a future calls. I realized that, I thought we were doing good. I thought that person is doing well. But then when I see the data, oh my gosh, like I should actually fire this person because she didn't do anything at all. I was like, shoot, I didn't know that I was running everything based on feelings instead of numbers. And then when you wanted to increase or decrease somebody's pay or let somebody go, I don't have the proof to show them that they are doing good or no good. There's no substantial like numbers. But again, numbers is, it's important, but not necessarily urgent unless you're on the borderline or surviving mode. But again, nothing a VA cannot fix for you, right? Nothing. So ultimately we hire a VA. Now we have an accounting department, but I hire a VA that manage all those numbers for us, ensuring that all the numbers is collected, so that I can physically tell them, hey, I'm not increasing your pay because right? Man, my company is doing really well because of this Now we have more confidence, certainty when we talk about things, because it's all based on data driven now. So they can say that I'm a mean boss anymore, right? So that's very important that you have a system. And I can't stress enough, the reason why I could walk away from my business now is because there is a system, and I have my dream team that's working for me. I don't even need to be in the business, and the business is running itself. I have people that handle sales, marketing, customer service, enrollment, right? Accounting, payroll, right? Everything is handled by somebody, and I just need to verify and improve the system, and that's all that I do.